Hey guys, happy December, welcome back. I hope you all had a very restful vacation. I certainly did. I got the chance to visit with some family and friends that I just don't usually get the chance to visit with, I should say. And it was very relaxing for me, so I hope you had a similar time. Today, as we are starting to transition over into our exploration of the world of Charles Dickens, and I encourage you to watch that video that I posted before this Thanksgiving mini break. I encourage you to watch that if you didn't or if you weren't in class the other day, because it gives us a lot of rich background on Charles Dickens' life that's really important to understanding where he is coming from as an author, because we know that the more we understand the author, the more we understand the author's purpose, the more inside the author's head we can get, so we make that connection. We get that main idea by analyzing his or her character, plot, conflict, theme, taking apart all of that, the plot structure, really taking the time to understand it so that we can actually make a change in our own lives just by reading somebody else's fictional story. And the themes that we're going to analyze as we're reading through A Christmas Carol are tied directly to the fire starter that I had you guys do, and actually that became the facilitator for our entire discussion today, because today was a discussion day. It was really meant for you guys to take a step back and say, how do I look at the world around me, and what do I believe? See, you're at the age right now, and I can remember very clearly being your age, and vividly I have this memory where my mom said something, and in my head it was the first time where I went, I think she's wrong. You're getting to that age now where you're starting to question whether or not you want to be exactly who your parents are and who your family is and what's important to them. You're deciding whether or not it's important to you. And you're getting to that point in your life where you have to decide these things for yourselves as you grow and become your own person. And so the type of thinking and discussing we did today is really built around that goal of gathering up information, and not just information in the sense of facts, but information in what do other people believe, and why do they believe that? What are their reasons for believing that? Essentially what I had you do with this fire starter is you created a table that had 4 thesis statements on it, essentially, statements of opinion. But all 4 of those things needed to be proven. They needed to be either agreed with or disagreed with, and I told you couldn't do both, which made it way more difficult, I know, but that was to get you to do that thinking. So you couldn't just say, oh, I think both. I gave you 4 statements, and I said agree or disagree, and then explain why. Because when we do this type of thinking, we really get to the core of our beliefs, and it allows us to analyze why we believe what we believe, and maybe hearing somebody else's perspective can give us a richness in our own belief, or maybe even sway us to believe a different way, or to explore the possibility that another way might be more appropriate for us as we establish who we are as people. So these 4 statements were as follows. It is better to be rich and alone than starving and happy. A person should be forced to relive past mistakes to learn a lesson. Constant repeat criminals don't deserve more chances. Some people are just too old and too mean to break habits. We had some really rich discussions on these 4 statements. And by the way, I crafted these statements, and I still had a hard time answering them because I could only pick agree or disagree. But as we started to talk about all of these different things, we started to notice that really there is no agree or disagree. There is no right or wrong. There is no correct, incorrect in this world at all about these major issues and about our belief systems, which is why so many different people believe so many different things. And it brings this richness to life where you have to try to feel people out, and you have to really get a sense of a relationship with somebody before you are able to understand all that is within them to say. And I'll give an example from these 4. I won't go into what we discussed for all of them, for all 4. But this constant repeat criminals don't deserve more chances. Well, you guys know the type of person I am. I'm always for second, third, 4th chances. But it depends, doesn't it? Because where a lot of you got tripped up, we would just say constant repeat criminals don't deserve more chances. We'd say disagree. Everyone deserves another chance. When we really sat down and looked at it, 2 words tripped up some of us in order to put disagree. We said constant repeat criminals. Constant repeat criminals don't deserve second chances. Well, Then we got into, well, what'd they do? I don't know what they did. What do you think they did? Well, if they stole something, then it shouldn't be the same as if they murdered someone. Oh, interesting. So the circumstances make it different. Well, what if they stole from you? Does that make it different? Because it's now personal, it's not somebody else's stuff? Let me ask you this question. And we did. We asked these questions of each other and of ourselves. Well, even people who murder somebody else, maybe we give them a second chance because maybe they learned their lesson. Maybe this. Would you feel differently if the person they murdered was a member of your family? See, these are questions we ask ourselves. See, because it's really easy to say, oh no, that shouldn't be the case, or oh, that should be the case. Until it happens to us and we put ourselves in the shoes. See, like for the second one, a person should be forced to relive past mistakes to learn a lesson. Well, I think reliving our mistakes and reworking our mistakes, I mean, that's how we grow as people. That's how we know what to do better the next time. That's how we know how to improve. I'm all about analyzing mistakes to be better. As a matter of fact, I almost like making mistakes in some circumstances because it helps me really truly analyze what went wrong and what I can do better the next time. Well, then I saw that one little word. A person should be forced to relive. Put myself in that position and I said, gosh, I made a lot of really stupid mistakes and really hurtful mistakes, and mistakes that if I could go back and take them back because of the effect they had on other people, I would. And then you get into the question of, well, but those mistakes and how I've changed as a result of them have made me who I am today and a better person ultimately and stronger. Oh, man. But then again, forced to. There are some things that I just don't want to go back and see again. I don't want to go back and relive. I know that they were wrong. I know that they were this. I know that they were that. But I don't want to have to relive them again, and I certainly don't want somebody else forcing me to. See, so we have a whole bunch of circumstances that we talked through, and we really arrived at the fact that there's a lot of gray area in the world. And sometimes circumstances, are how we justify what we're thinking and what we're doing and what we're believing. Today was not to see who was right and who was wrong, because as we saw, none of us were right, none of us were wrong. We had opinions, and we discussed them, and we shared them, and we bounced questions off of each other, and sometimes people would make a statement that made me go, oh yeah, and vice versa. I would make a statement and some people would go, oh yeah. See, that's what literature can bring if you're really having that dialogue with it, and you're discussing with other people, and you're sharing the information that you gather and your experiences and your thoughts. That's what this is all about. I want you to remember that as we're going through this story, because this story seems like a nice, easy, tiny little story, but it brings up a lot of themes and a lot of questions in those themes and those main ideas that are really heavy, that we have to try to make sense of ourselves. And I want to encourage you to make sure you're doing that with our fire starters, with your unit packets that you picked up today. I'll post them tomorrow because the words of the week are also going to be posted at the bottom of today's post. But this is the type of really quality, in-depth thinking that I want you to be doing at all times in this class. When we're reading a book, when we're writing, when we're doing whatever. This is the in-depth thinking, because I'm interested in how you're growing as people and how you're improving as people, in addition to just how you're improving the LA. Okay? So we're going to start reading the book tomorrow. Don't forget to bring that $1 for the book. Remember, these are $6 books. You get to keep them, and I got them for you for $1. Okay? There's no better deal that you're going to find. Even on Cyber Monday, no better deal you're going to find. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Keep doing that thinking. It was quality. The discussions were so great. People were like, class flew by today. It does when you're totally immersed in what you're doing. You're totally there. You're 100% committed. Let's keep doing that type of thinking. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.